you heard?
Wow!
Okay, quiet down. What?
I see.
All right. It ain't much, but we've been getting more postings on the Phantom Aficionado website. I want to make my friend apologize for not returning the stuff I lent him. Deal with that yourself.
Hey, those girls.
You know that Phantom Thieves rumor about stealing Kamoshida's heart? I wonder if it's true. It's gotta be made up. Do you seriously believe they exist? But look what happened to Kamoshida. He probably just couldn't keep hiding it after that girl tried to kill herself. Yeah, you might be right. I guess there's no way they really exist. Most importantly, it seriously sucks that our school is gonna be known for stuff like this. I wonder if it'll affect our college entrance.
That's probably a normal reaction for now, but they'll see soon enough. If we can take care of 2 or 3 famous guys, people will have to believe we exist.
So about those big shots, we don't have any leads yet, right? Plus, there's that rumor about you two threatening Kamoshida, too.
Looks like you'll just have to live a normal, honest school life for the time being. Still, make sure you stay prepared just in case anything comes up, alright?
I'll keep an eye out for info on any big shots that might be coming around.
And I'll try to dig up some dirt online.
We went and formed the Phantom Thieves group, but we can't even find a target.
There.
I guess sometimes things just don't go the way we want them to.
Excuse me. Did you wish to see me, Principal Kobayakawa?
You saw the state Kamoshida-kun was in, didn't you? It's as if his personality has completely changed. Something is definitely wrong here.
I'm not sure I follow.
From what I've heard, it appears as though some students were meddling in his business. If they did something to him, who could they be?
Are you saying that these students may have caused Mr. Kamoshida to change?
That is what I wish to know, even if it takes some probing into student matters. I would like you to look into this for me.
It is true that there are many rumors regarding Mr. Kamoshida, but do you mean all of this talk about those Phantom Thieves?
It is undeniable that Mr. Kamoshida has changed in some way. I'd like to have a grasp of the cause. This shall also ensure that I handle the mass media and police in the correct fashion.
Oh.
I will continue speaking to Mr. Kamoshida myself. Unless you find whomever did this, these irresponsible rumors will likely never die down. Don't you agree? You have been at the top of your class since day one. Your conduct is good, and teachers favor you. I could write you a recommendation for any college of your choosing, Makoto Nijima.
Thank you.
Your lineage must certainly play a part in this excellence. Your sister is still young, yet she holds an admirable position at the public prosecutor's office, no? If something disappointing were to happen here, that wouldn't reflect very well on your sister. Do you understand?
Yes.
How wise. It's no wonder you're our student council president. I'd appreciate if you'd look into this as soon as possible. I ask that you begin at once.
Yes, if you'll excuse me then.
It's me, sir. My apologies for troubling you at such a busy time. Yes, it's about the matter we discussed earlier. I have all bases covered. The investigation will begin immediately. Of course. Yes, I will get results. I should be able to update you soon. Well then, I must be going. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, have you seen that aficionado website? I'm the one who started it. You guys are the Phantom Thieves, aren't you? Sorry. Although, if things really are as I think, I should keep it a secret. Kamoshida used me, and I did some horrible things to you guys. This isn't much of a way for me to apologize for it. But if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I'm glad to hear that. There are many more evil adults outside of Kamoshida, but I'm sure the Phantom Thieves will do something. They can't let this end after just one target. That's why I wanted to make a forum where people could post their problems. There are probably a lot of people who have high hopes for the Phantom Thieves' next move. So, I've also implemented an anonymous poll on the site. Do you believe in the Phantom Thieves or not? I hope someday my forum is filled with supportful posts. I'd really like to help out in the Phantom Thieves' acts of justice. Can I, please? Yeah, I will.
Besides the public's reaction to your group, there were others who supported you. Someone who enthusiastically cheered the Phantom Thieves on. Perhaps they were quite close. What do you have to say to that?
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity. With the birth of the moon persona, I have obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom and new power.
All right. See you. We heard all that. Jeez, it was a little awkward trying to figure out when to walk over here.
So that forum is Mishima-kun's.
Has he figured out our identities?
Even so, I think it'll be fine. You seem to be playing it cool.
I guess we should have a little chat about this later.
I will say, though, a forum where people can post problems may prove unexpectedly useful.
Anyways, we gotta get looking for a new target.
And we need to stay sharp until we manage to find one. Once we do, we'll have to head into another palace. So we should prep our equipment and...
Wait! Oh, crap!
What's with you?
Don't we have an exam coming up?
Judging by that reaction, I'd assume you're going to struggle this time, too.
It's not like you're any better. All you're good at is English.
I'd rather that than be bad at every subject. Even your Japanese is questionable at best, Ryuji.
What's questionable is whether you're really even a human. Good comeback, huh?
Let's discuss this with our fists.
Bring it.
Will you two stop it?
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Persona 5 New Game Plus. We have finally escaped from the long sequence of story-related cutscenes, and we now have a little bit of time to do a bit more of what we want to do. You get a bit more choice to continue with your confidant links, to continue building up your stats if that's what you're looking at doing as well. All of these sort of things. We now have a little bit of extra time between now and the start of the next palace. And so that's what we're going to be concentrating. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now that we've sort of really finished things, a few things have changed. There are a few more conversations for us to look at and eavesdrop on around the school regarding the Kamoshida incident, but also the main thing for us is that now we can progress with Arn's confidant. So throughout, when the decision with Kamoshida has not yet been sorted, Arn will not be available for you to meet with, either because she simply is, too worried about the situation to really want to just be meeting up with friends and stuff like that, or because she's going to be spending a lot of time with Shiho, especially once you've completed the Kamoshida boss battle. But now that all of that is done, she will now be available for us to chat to and continue boosting her confidant link as we have done with Ryuji before. And being a party member, it's always useful boosting her link because, as with all party members, if you improve the confidant link with them, what it does is that it has combat benefits with regards to that, making the combat easier and making that person more viable in the combat.
This persona,
as well.
you'll withdraw this persona.
So all good. Now, this also being the first day that we've had some freedom since, the long series of cutscenes, it means that we will be able to, we should do some stocking up, so that's something else I'll be doing in this episode, doing a bit of stocking up and making sure I've got some more healing items and all that sort of stuff. But the main thing that we're going to concentrate on at the start of this episode is actually making the most of the fact that we leveled up at the end of the Kamoshida boss battle. We leveled up to level 11, and that means that given that there are some combat-related encounters coming up soon, I thought it would be a good idea for us to fuse some more personas, continue those threads of elemental sort of chains of persona as we go through, and so that's what we're going to talk about, at least at the start of this episode. So the first persona we're going to talk about is Kodama. Kodama follows on from Incubus and Berith down the status ailment, sort of elemental string of persona that we've spoken about before.
Power will be nothing unusual.
And it's as simple, and thankfully, unlike a lot of the persona fusions that we're having to do here, Kodama is available directly from Berith via just one fusion, which is always enjoyable, always much more preferable than having to go via a third persona.
Select the skills you...
So Kodama, their description are as Japanese plant spirits born from trees that have lived for 100 years. Cutting down one of these trees is said to cause misfortune.
It's power, girls.
So then our second persona is Saki Mitama, which we are fusing originally from Silky to continue the healing elemental line of persona. And this we do need to go via an intermediate persona. There is no direct way to get from Silky to Saki Mitama. And so we go via koropokguru, which is another persona that we'll talk about in a sec. Saki Mitama is described as one of the 4 aspects of Shinto thought. It brings great bounty from the hunt. It is said to aid in love, profit and growth, and can create new paths. And Saki Mitama is actually quite a useful persona to get early on. Obviously in this run through we haven't used it earlier, primarily because Silky is so much more useful than Saki Mitama at the start. The main reason for that is Silky obviously has that access to ice magic, which if we don't have access to ice magic, a lot of the enemies in Kamoshida's palace become a bit of a pain. But Saki Mitama, if you're not doing something like I'm doing, is actually a pretty useful early game persona to have. Primarily because it gains access to growth 1, which means that even if it doesn't participate in battle, it gains 25% experience. And so even if you're not using Saki Mitama a lot, it's leveling up. And this is then something that you can fuse onto all future persona later down the line, which is another really good thing about gaining personas early on that have really useful coverages.
Not terrible, but not impressive.
So that is Saki Mitama. And then the last 3 that we're talking about are all based around... Oh no, it's not quite the last 3. There's another one that we need to discuss. And that is Koppa Tengu. We take Koppa Tengu from Kelpie, so via a continuation from Bicorn to Kelpie to Koppa Tengu, which is a continuation of the Wind Elemental line. And Koppa Tengu is described as a type of Tengu. Their spiritual power is weaker than other Tengu, so they are much smaller. They are said to be the reincarnations of long-lived wolves. And so, yeah, Koppa Tengu, another, again, continuing on these elemental lines, now that we have access to higher level possible fusions. And then finally, we're going to talk about 3 persona that we get via, and they're all associated with the Ice Elemental line. So that's starting from Genbu, which we got from Andras, way back. So we've gone from Andras to Genbu. And then the first step we make is to koropokguru, which in this case we actually have to do via Kelpie. So we go Genbu to Kelpie and then to koropokguru, with koropokguru being described as small human-like creatures that have kind, calm personalities. Once coexisting with the Ainu people of Japan, there was a falling out at some point and they disappeared.
Looks pretty tough.
But as soon as we fuse koropokguru, we're going to take koropokguru and fuse it further to make Apsaras. Apsaras are Hindu water spirits. They are beautiful young women who dance for the gods. They also guide heroes fallen in battle to paradise. And it's worth saying that both koropokguru and Apsaras we're both going to meet in the next palace. They're both common shadows that we see around the palace, the second palace. The final persona that we're going to fuse, continuing and finishing up our Ice Elemental line, is another level 11 persona, and that is Jack Frost. And Jack Frost is really important because later on we're going to, as we continue through, we're going to start getting requests from the Wardens, Caroline and Justine, to fuse specific persona with specific moves. And the first one of this list is Jack Frost. And so having a Jack Frost is useful at this point because it means that we can continue that or start that confidently really, really early on. And a lot of what they offer is very useful in terms of, so it's really good to make sure that you're, or it's really useful at least, to make sure that you're satisfying their requests and making sure you're doing what they're asking you for. So, and the Jack Frost, and the nice thing about Jack Frost is that I think they want us to give them to show them a Jack Frost with Mabufu, which is one of the first skills that we're going to see, which is an extension from our usual set. So our usual spells are like Bufu, Zio, etc. They all have a variation where you put Ma in the front of them, and those variants hit all enemies. So they're multi-target spells. And the nice thing about Mabufu on Jack Frost is that it's gained a little further on. I think at the next level, at level 12. And usefully, we don't even need to level up the Jack Frost, because the Jack Frost is associated with the Magician Arcana, which is Morgana's Confidant line. And so we've already got levels in that Confidant line, because Morgana's Confidant link boosts automatically at specific points in the story. And so pretty much every time you fuse a Jack Frost, you're almost always guaranteed to get the Arcana burst. That means that it will level up to level 12 just as you want it to, which is really good, just in time for you to get the spell that you need just for Caroline and Justine. So we're going to fuse this Jack Frost. And then Jack Frosts are described as a winter fairy of European descent. He leaves ice patterns on windows and nips people's noses. Though normally an innocent creature, he will freeze his victims to death if provoked. And he's really cute. I think he's got one of the cuter little animations as well. And there's also another enemy that becomes quite... that we'll see as a common shadow in the next palace, at least at the start. So, what you should take from all of that information is that you should definitely bring Arn to the start of the next palace, because you've got a lot of ice persona enemy shadows around, and so having Arn and her fire skills are very, very useful. It's just very useful to have her around at the start, and she really shines at the start of this. At the start of the next palace. Anyway, that is going to be it for the fusions. I believe in the next... So what we're going to now do is head over back to the school and talk to Arn and start her confidant link, or at least have the first set of conversations within her confidant link. So I will... fast forward until then, and I will catch you afterwards, where we've got a little bit to talk about in the evening before finishing off this episode. So I will see you later.
What do you want?
Hey.
Oh.
Thanks. Hey. Thanks.
All right.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Bye!
Hey,
Hey!
So we are back after that interaction with Arn, that little conversation. A lot of her confidant link is about her helping her discover her own personal strength and helping her realize what she wants to do. At least from what I've been able to see so far. I haven't actually finished her confidant line yet, so we'll see how that all pans out.
Welcome.
But yeah, a lot of what we see early on is sort of it does follow on quite nicely from what we see with her and what the basis of her interactions was sort of around the whole Kamoshida incident and stuff like that. So now, as we've just found out from Sojiro, we are now officially allowed out and we can explore wherever the hell we want. So we can finally go out into the great town, into Shibuya at night. And so the first part of this little section is also going to be sort of seeing a lot of the conversations that you can overhear around Shibuya at different times, that sort of thing. But then also what we're going to do is, because we now have access to Shibuya in this whole new area, it also means that you get access to different confidants that are only available in this area at night that we didn't have access to previously. The primary ones to think about here are probably EY, so at the gun shop, all of his confidant things are usually done at night, so we wouldn't have been able to complete those until now. But the one that we're going to start today is the speech-giving man, or Yoshida, which is the sun confidant link. And the way we trigger this is actually it takes a little bit of time. You first need to interact with him outside when he's doing one of his speeches in Station Square. Then you need to go and take a part-time job at the Beef Bowl shop, at the Beef Bowl restaurant. You need to work there twice, and then he will recognize you the next time you then talk to him again, and then finally the confidant link will start, and then you can continue on, making progress. And his confidant link is pretty useful. It allows you to earn a lot of money from negotiating with shadows, which is always a good thing. More money is always a good thing. So what we're going to do here is we are just going to trigger that by initially talking to him outside when he's giving a speech, and then what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the beef bowl shop and actually do some work there. And the nice thing about the beef bowl shop is that by working there you also earn proficiency as well. So you gain points towards your proficiency, just as how the working at the flower shop gives you points towards your kindness. So the pay is better and you get points towards things. It's why you want to do those jobs ahead of sort of the convenience store job, which is by far, I think it's the worst paid. But also, the convenience store job, all three part-time jobs have a mechanism by which you can earn extra money by doing special events. For the convenience store, it's completely it's somewhat random. For the flower shop and for the beef bowl, you can control it, and we'll talk about that when we actually get that event occurring when we're working there some point later on. But anyway, that is going to be it from me for today. So I will see you on the next episode, where we will be continuing to have a little bit more freedom ahead of the next big chunk of story, which is the start of the next palace. I hope to see you then.
Right. Oh!
I've been expecting you. Now. I'm counting on you.
Hey, wait!
Nice job.
All right.
Let's head back.